deeply that the Dutch Central Bank chose to include in their annual report of last year that they have doubt about the integrity and effectiveness of the supervision of the Central Bank of Curaçao and St. Martin. And as we all know, spreading those unfounded rumors can have a panic reaction with all the consequences it may have for the financial stability of our jurisdiction. The question that comes to my mind is then, why have they done that? And what's the reason that also those publications now appeared in the Financial Daily? I can tell you that since we have intervened in the bank in Curaçao, the Gyro Bank, and the controversies within the supervisory board of the central bank, we've seen an increase in those attacks and attacks on the bank, and with the implication also for the at least the perception that the Dutch central bank has about the effectiveness and integrity of the supervision of the central bank. With regard to our intervention at Giro Bank, I can say the following. When we have received signal that the situation at the Gyro Bank may not be consistent or in compliance with the rules and regulations of the central bank, we have issued certain instructions to the Gyro Bank in order to bring about compliance and make sure that it continues to operate in a prudent way. Despite the instructions that we have issued, the Gyro Bank violated those instructions, reason why we approached the court for the first instance to ask the court then to apply the emergency arrangement on Gyro. What it means is that once the court, the first instance, declared the emergency arrangement as applicable to a bank, the central bank then will assume the responsibility for the management of the institution in question, in this case being the Gyro. When we started with our investigation, based on the authorities that the court allocated to us, we have come across the various issues that can be classified as irregularities. We have seen cases where a large group in our society were given loans where they didn't need to pay back. We have also encountered a lot of those irregularities that can be construed as possible criminal act. As a consequence, we then approach the public prosecutor in order to report then those criminal, at least those activities that can be classified as criminal act. Once we started to those investigations, the result of the investigations, which could have been classified as criminal act, and reported them to the public prosecutor, the threats began to be sent in the direction of the central bank and my person. The former management of the Gyro Bank and also one of the shareholders then threatened to start with a campaign against my person if we do not stop the investigation in the Gyro Bank, and if we do not stop that and also the reporting them to the public prosecutor, then they will start then with an international campaign, try to then damage my reputation, with the consequence that it will undermine the confidence that one should have in the central bank, and also with the consequence it may have then for the jurisdiction. And also as you can imagine, once we started with our activities, investigations, and the management of gyro, those group of people that were extended loans, to whom loans were extended and did not have to pay, when we told them that they have to pay, then they also was not very happy with us, and as a consequence, they also started with their campaign against my person and the central bank. The second reason why that I mentioned that are at the center of the recent publication is the controversies surrounding the functioning of the supervisory board of the central bank. As I mentioned to you in the recently published annual report of the Dutch Central Bank, there was a paragraph where mention was made about their doubt in integrity and effectiveness of the supervision of the central bank. Well, actually, this is not the first time that that was mentioned. Last year in November, this was a topic of discussion in the Council of Ministers of the Kingdom. When we were informed about the discussion, we went to Holland and asked the Dutch Central Bank, what is the basis for them to have chosen that route to express a doubt, and why didn't they make use then of the supervisory college to discuss the doubt if they had any doubt. The answer that we received was that they do not have doubt in the management of the central bank, but then in the governance structure of the bank. And what do they mean with that? Is that a member of the supervisory board of the central bank went to Holland and said, walk through the whole Holland and try then to undermine confidence in the management of the central bank and my person by trying then to spread rumors about various topics regarding the central bank. Among them, the loan that we have extended to the harbor, the loan that we have extended to the Aqualector in Curacao, and the Gyro Bank. So that was the reason why the Dutch Central Bank thought that the best way to address that concern is then to approach their government and let their government through the two various governments to then discuss that issue, because if a member of the supervisory board who's supposed then to supervise the bank, instead of doing their job, will walk around in Holland, going to the Ministry of Interior, Ministry of Finance, Dutch Central Bank, and spreading then those rumors that will undermine then the confidence in the central bank. And again, I would like to underscore that the management, actually the president of the central bank of Holland, mentioned that they do not have any doubt in the management of the central bank, but in the governance structure. So you cannot have a supervisory board of a bank trying to spread rumors and undermining the effectiveness and integrity of a central bank. And just as a footnote, the fact that, in order to underscore that they do have confidence in the professional working at the central bank, yesterday in Bonaire there was another technical meeting where the three central banks, together with the AFM, which is the institution in charge with the supervision of the conduct of market behavior, they were meeting there discussing various points. So that the cooperation among the various central banks continue. But the problem that the Dutch Central Bank has, as I mentioned again, is with the governance structure of the central bank. Another issue that was mentioned was also the fact that this member of the supervisory board started to go through various ministry in Holland, but they went also to our external accountant, where that member of the supervisory board went to our external accountant and tried to persuade them then to classify the loan to the harbor as doubtful, to classify the loan of Aqualector as doubtful, and also if they do that, then they will get additional work from the bank. Well, based on the legal advice that we have received, those action by the member of the supervisory board can be construed then first of all as in violation to their confidentiality rules of the central bank, and trying to influence the external accountant then to classify a loan that is performing well as doubtful by promising additional work can be construed then as attempt of bribery. So as a consequence, we told that member of the supervisory board that we are duty bound then to also report those cases to the public prosecutor. But before doing that, we want to give him the opportunity to give his side of the story. Once we inform that, and then ever since he has not, we haven't seen him at the bank, and after that we have seen then the appearances of all those publications in Holland with all the insinuation, fabrication of which I will elaborate now. In the first publication, there was 3 publications, one of June the 10th, June the 11th,